Who?
And we are live? No, I don't know. Oh, let me go do something else.
Je vais vérifier. That's what I said. Je vais vérifier. I'm going to.
Vérifier.
Going to.
Ah, we are back. Well, we've never actually come in. Hey, welcome to the Creative 7 at 7-ish show.
7-ish.
Show. Yeah, this was an interesting thing. You know when you connect the USB to the other cable and the other cable to the thing?
Okay, you lost me.
And then the thing you connect it to the other thing, and then sometimes you cross the wires, and you should never cross the wires, and then this kind of thing happens. That's essentially me trying to explain how we're late. We're not late.
I'm telling you, until 7:59,
We're
it's
not late.
7.
We're not late. We're not late. We're just.
You just reminded me of our culture. You know, when you want something to start at 7, you say it starts at 5, so that
Yeah.
people are actually there at 7.
So essentially, what Anna's trying to say is that we're just trying to be very Portuguese when it comes to our time frame and being punctual. It's a traditional thing. We need to be late.
But you are very punctual. I'm usually
I am.
You're
Listen,
amazing, actually.
I was trying to punch the button. It just didn't work. It's not my fault. It didn't work. All right. Now we have the screen. We're getting so technical, and I think it was part of the technicality of the whole putting new wires and the new screen and all that. I think I might have done something to the USB
alone.
cable.
Paulo M is saying, haha, I know the feeling of crossing wires.
Paulo, you know about this. I went to put the screen, and then the cable of the screen touched the other cable, and then this is what happened. But anyways, we're here.
Aren't you glad I told you to do that?
What? What? If there's anybody in this household that has taught
Zero clue. Oh, I have taught you a lot, actually.
Yes, that's what I was going to say. You've taught me so much throughout the years. It's because of this one over here that I know what I know about technology, because I have to fix everything and I have to figure things out all the time for you.
You're welcome.
But it's okay.
My pleasure.
This is why we're here.
Yes.
After almost 20 years together. Jesus. Anywho's, I hope you guys are having an amazing week. We are trying to have an amazing week. Who am I joking with? Of course, we're having an amazing week. Okay, let me ask you, though. How was your week? My week was good. How was your week?
Mine was great, too. I mean, it was a shorter week because we had Family Day on Monday.
Okay.
And
I just wanted to ask, because then I don't want you saying, oh, why did you say we both had a week, and then I didn't have a week, and then you had a week. See?
I always see it was great. Even the things I don't like so much, i.e. winter, it was great. I found something good in it.
Apparently there was some snow shoveling today again.
Yeah. It's good exercise. There's the positive spin to
Canadian exercising. The secret to Canadian exercising is making sure that even though you might be right-handed or left-handed, it doesn't matter. Halfway through the exercise of shoveling,
oh my God,
you need to change hands. I mean, that's the only way you're going to survive this, is because if you keep shoveling your snow only into one side,
I can't do it any other
Listen,
way.
you have to train yourself, man. This is like any type of
I'd rather not
exercise. You need to train your body to be able
Mother Nature, no need for that.
No?
No.
Okay, well, we'll just hopefully we'll get an early spring, and it will start.
God, yes.
It will this whiteness out there will disappear.
Yes,
and we'll get some warmer weather, and we'll get back into action. All right, so as per the usual, and I'm only saying this because I don't like to be when I start doing something, I want to be consistent. Mm-hmm. So again this week, because I've been a little bit busy, I didn't really get a lot of things done for today's show, because I know how professional we are and how good we are at coming up with stuff on the spot. This is what we do, right? Anyways, I got some cool articles that we want to talk about, and I think the first one is pretty cool. Should we just... Don't look at the screen.
Sorry.
People at home don't know what you're looking at.
Couldn't help it. Sorry.
Don't pay attention to her. I'm just going to explain to those who are new to this live stream what we're all about and what we do. So Creative 7 is a multi-universal creative design company. How's that?
Loved it.
All right. We do a
Going to
lot of
write that
creative
down.
stuff around here. And on Fridays, we like talking about how our week was. We've established that it was okay. We had a shorter week because of Family Day here in Ontario. And now we go through the news that we found interesting. Some of them, I always like to throw in a nice humorous one in the middle. And we're actually going to kick this off today with the more humorous one.
That one is funny.
Yeah, which Anna started laughing. She does not know how to be on camera. She should have just
No, I don't.
that poker face, the poker face of not laughing or just being like stone cold.
Can't do that. Still working on that. My face
Didn't work.
shows what I think.
So aside from the news, we also dab into a couple of websites and YouTube channels and podcasts that I like listening to, just to give you guys some choices out there. If you guys are into watching videos on YouTube and or listening to podcasts, I have always a couple of suggestions for you. If you take them, great. Welcome to the club. If you don't, great. Don't be welcome to the club.
Let's say hi to Auto Conversion. He's saying hi to us, and it's
Hey.
good to see you too.
How's it going? Welcome to the show. All right, so we're going to go into the first piece of news. I'm just going to refresh this page before I bring it up online because I want to make sure that, oh man, this advertising stuff, dude, like it's so annoying.
It really is.
And it doesn't get out of there, huh?
No, it stays there.
It's really, okay, it doesn't matter, whatever.
Sometimes it goes up.
Sometimes
but other
it
times
goes
it
up.
doesn't.
And sometimes it goes down. It depends. It depends. All right. So let's move on to the desktop. And can you please read the title?
Panasonic's, is it Nikobo?
Nikobo.
I think it's Nikobo.
Let's call it Nikobo.
Is a pricey robot cat that farts whenever it feels like it.
All right, people. This is the news of the day. They've
commando.
invented a farting cat.
Oh my
I think we can put a little bit of the music on. I don't know if it's capturing that or not. But nonetheless, it's there's words there. We can read the words. And it says that, it's kind of a cat. It kind of looks like a cat, but let's just face it. It's a ball with eyes and a tail.
It does not look like a cat to me.
No,
Um,
I agree.
I used to have a cat when I
Yeah, that looks like a weird little, it looks like a little
if
stuffed
my
animal.
cat looked like that, it would freak me out.
And essentially, it has a whole bunch of sensors that, oh my God, so many pop-ups, that it knows where you are, and it knows
Yeah.
when you're, let me refresh this so we see this again, because, I mean, it's priceless. You guys, you're welcome, all of you at home. This is such good information that, you're welcome.
Yeah, like why would you need this?
So this is a companion, apparently. For people who are stuck at home and they're lonely, they can order one of these guys up.
Okay.
Call-
What's the price tag?
I have no idea. That's how interested I was in getting this.
It does
But
say there, I
apparently,
think.
no. Apparently, they got like a crowdfunding, and they've got like $95,000 already. I don't know. Essentially, this is modern life for
Yeah.
you. This is technology for you. Don't get a cat
Yeah,
because a
no.
cat, it poops all over the place. So you need to get one of these guys.
This one only farts.
This one only farts, and apparently, I'm guessing it's not gonna smell.
Smells.
It just makes noise. So I guess if you're very lonely, you can talk to it. The eyes blink. It kind of shakes around and pretends it's looking at you. And at the end of the day, the best part of this whole thing, it makes a farting sound. And who doesn't like a farting sound?
Who comes up with these ideas?
I don't know, man. I'm just the guy that clicks on the news because I find it interesting. I'm just that guy. Now, I wanted to see the next piece of news. But, before we go ahead, and you brought a good point here. Who comes up with this stuff?
Yeah,
Like who sits in
Auto conversion is saying, okay, next. Yeah, like really. Who comes up with this?
I don't know. Anyways, let's go to the next one. I feel like, yeah, we've got enough.
Oh,
I wanted
that's
to talk about
interesting.
this. This is the more interesting part of the news that I found today. I think if you were paying any attention to the news, this might have come up because it was big news. We spent billions of dollars to send a robot to Mars, while there's a lot of need for money and
Here on Earth. But
scientists and effort here in this planet. I don't know. I'm just saying
It's
it.
interesting.
Listen, this is cool. This is interesting stuff. I feel like, it's interesting. But there's the other side of me that is kind
Yeah.
of thinking, you know what? There could have been more okay, I'm not going to say it.
I like the name. I like the name, Perseverance.
It is. Okay. Let's play the this is a great idea card, okay? And continue with that. This was NASA's other attempt and successful attempt, I guess, to get another little car up there. A little, what are they calling it? Is it it's a drone? No, not a drone. Oh man, what do they call
It's
it?
the rover, isn't it?
Rover. There you go. I was looking
Yeah.
for that word in my brain, and my brain is full of stuff, and I couldn't find it. So essentially, it
Oh, there
they
you go.
they sent this out, and it finally landed yesterday. I think it was yesterday, right? And now it's gonna go around the planet or around a certain area. It's not
Yeah,
going to
it's
go around
looking
the whole.
for and we have people interested in this. Auto conversion says this is one of the great things about mankind, the space exploration. I agree.
It is.
Because I grew up watching Star Trek.
I mean, you've got all the Star Trek, Star
I
Wars,
was
all of those
always
things, yeah.
fascinated by space. Not that I want to go there, but I've always been fascinated by space. I do think we spend crazy amounts of money that sometimes can be.
Well, that's my point. Like, I also am of the same opinion. I think that yes, we should explore beyond our planet. We should try to figure things out. What's
Yeah.
out there. If we're not alone, if we're alone, who knows? I don't care. But at the end of the day, I think that as a human race, we need to expand our horizons. But I also think that a lot of that effort could be turned inwards and towards us, our planet,
Yeah.
and figuring out how to get rid of the pollution that we have made. This is a mess that human beings have made, okay?
Yeah.
I think we should figure out how to clean up our own home before we go and dirty another home, because guess what? Those rovers are gonna run out of fuel, and they're gonna stay there.
What I find
And it's
interesting
gonna be a junkyard of rovers.
is that what I find interesting when I was reading, and I didn't have a chance to finish reading the whole article, but as far as I went was they're looking for signs of past life, and we're talking about billions of years ago. That's when my brain is going, whoa, right? But yeah, there you go. So they're exploring past.
So
The possibility of because there were signs of the planet being a little bit more to the wet side than it is now, obviously.
Having
So,
water,
right?
yeah.
So that's indication of probably water. So I think that's where they end, because water is essential to life here on Earth. I believe that was the premises of how this all started. So that's it for me. That's interesting, right? And I don't know. I think that the idea to explore this is very interesting. Like I said, I've always been fascinated with that. But I do agree. Sometimes I wonder, are we putting this much effort into saving our own home? Can we do both?
and not even,
just to
like-
tell you that auto conversion completely disagrees with you.
With me?
So yeah,
It's okay. We're all about opinions here, man.
but yeah, no. And I see both sides of the question too.
Well, I'm not. See,
Yeah.
this is the thing. I'm not completely saying that we shouldn't have done what we did, like go to Mars. I think it's a good idea.
Yeah, for sure.
What I start looking at is that
The amount of money spent sometimes.
yeah, and effort, right? I think if I saw, okay, if we divided that in half and had half of the effort and the money going to Mars, and then the other half in fixing and exploring our own planet, because I don't think everything has been explored yet, and there's a lot to find out still. I think that would be the better choice. I just feel like there's this race to be the first one to go to Mars. There's this race to be the first people to be there and
Discover
find and
something.
discover something new outside of our planet. I think there's a lot of that going on. And again, yes, I get it. It's cool to see. Yeah, if we ever find out there was life there. I mean, there's even some theories out there that mankind came from Mars. The planet was dying, and then we came to this
there's
planet,
all
and then
different theories.
we
yeah,
kind of
yeah.
lost the whole.
Yeah.
These are theories that I've read online by, I don't know, people that believe that could have been true. And hey, listen, there is a possibility for everything,
yeah,
right?
for sure.
And that's great. That's cool. And it kind of makes us. And let's say out of let's think that was true. That's pretty cool.
Yeah.
I mean, if that was the case,
if that were the case, yeah. I mean,
so that means that as a human race, we have potential of reaching much more and doing much more, and being able to possibly in the near future go to other planets and explore our universe and not be stuck in one planet.
that to me is very
That's cool.
fascinating for sure.
I mean, and obviously this is an idea that has been more than explored in movies and TV shows. I mean, like you said, Star Trek, Star Wars, you name it, anything that was, I'm even thinking about Stargate, the one that they used to go to the different planets and all of that. So all of these shows and all of these movies, they were great because they explored that idea of us not being the only ones in this universe, which honestly, I think it to be true.
Yeah, me too.
Are we ever going to see people from other universes? I don't know. I don't think it's going to be in our lifetime. I think
our solar system is what I'm questioning, right? But yeah, there's so much beyond.
but come on, the universe is so big.
So you can't just say we're alone because
it would be very selfish to say that. I think it would be very selfish. I don't know. Let me know, guys, if you're watching this and you have an opinion on this.
Well, I have an invitation for you.
Oh, great, cool.
Auto Conversion says, Jamie, I would like to invite you onto my show to talk about that. We could have a debate or a panel discussion.
All right, let's do it.
There you go.
Not a problem. I mean, I'm all about discussions and opinions and listening to everybody's opinions. I love it. I think there's huge potential in that. So this is an article. If you guys want to go check this out, it's on BBC. I think this is from all of the ones that I was looking at before coming on to the show because I wanted to get a little bit more information. This was the article that I found that had most complete information because they actually break it down, like why and how they got there,
what they're looking for.
An interesting aspect there. Yeah. It took them, so it actually launched in July of 2020 from Florida. Right,
Yeah.
So it wasn't a 2-day trip. It was a little bit longer than that.
How many millions of kilometers did it? Because I was reading in that, I remember I said, "Whoa, there you go, 470 million kilometer journey."
So essentially, you're right around the corner. You just turn left and
awesome.
just keep going for a little bit longer, and you'll be there. And they actually have where's it going to be exploring, which part of the planet. Apparently, it looks like it's going to be just about 10-kilometer radius. It might go further than that. I don't know how much those rovers might last all alone by themselves.
Yeah, I need to finish reading it. I didn't have time to go to the end. But I was definitely very interested. And like I said, I find this stuff very fascinating.
But already the pictures that they were able to take as they were landing and stuff like that, it's pretty interesting to see a different planet. I mean, at the same time, we might look at this and go, ooh, look at that. But you know what? There are certain parts in our planet that are as beautiful as this one.
Yeah.
And and not a lot of people, I mean, there's a ton of stuff that I kind of see online that I'm like, wow, this doesn't even look like Earth, but it is.
Yeah.
It's pretty cool to see that the same thing happens in other planets. Search for past life. So again, there goes the theory of
Yeah.
there might have been life there, and
And
well,
they're basing it on like billions, like they're going from billions of years ago.
Yeah.
They
so
think.
imagine if there actually was some sort of being there.
Mhm.
It's now been billions of years.
Yeah.
There's not going to be anything that could have survived. I don't know. I don't think so. That would have been, I was going to say man-made, but I guess alien-made.
Yeah.
That would have survived for so long. Or there might be. I don't know. Look at fossils and stuff. You
I'm
know?
going to start reading more about it. But the mudstone, I think, is what got their attention. And yeah.
Oh, cool.
it's
They have a
interesting.
helicopter that's going
Yeah.
to fly around?
Yeah.
That's interesting.
It's
I didn't know
interesting.
that part. And of course, this is a commercial break. We're going to just wait until the commercial
It's got
is over.
interesting specs and all of that, all of those instruments, which honestly I read the names, but if you don't go through what each one of them does, it's really gibberish to me. But look at that, that's very interesting.
Yeah, this has a lot of explanation of what they're thinking of doing when they, you know. Oh, look, they've got like a little drone. I didn't see this part. This part is
Yeah.
pretty cool.
And,
And
the reason why you need it, that's interesting.
And the best part is that
Yeah.
they're actually piloting this stuff from Earth.
Mm-hmm.
So is there a delay? So what if a bird comes? Oh, there's no birds. Okay, never mind. I'm joking. Jeez. So yeah, this was the interesting news of
yeah,
the
for
week.
me that was very
I think.
interesting. Yeah.
And like I said, short weeks here at Creative 7 are always kind of crazy. And with that craziness, the days, the hours go by really, really quick, and sometimes there's not enough time for everything. And I'm kind of leaving this for this weekend to kind of dive in more. It caught my eye. I wanted to talk a little bit about it here, get your guys' opinion as well. But I also want to dive in deep, and this is cool stuff for me. I love this stuff. I love the tech around it, and I love all of that.
I think that's what catches your attention more. It's the tech
Yeah.
part of this, right?
Yeah, no, for sure.
Yeah.
And who knows? In a few years from now, when I'm like 80 years old, I might just
I'm fascinated by the other side, right? Like I don't want to call it history, but being able to discover something it is history from the past outside Earth. That's again, I grew up watching Star Trek. The Next Generation really was something for me. So yeah.
Wouldn't it be cool if they found human remains?
Wow.
The murder that never got solved. Chun, chun, chun. That would have been cool. Anyway, so moving on to the other part of this show, which is talking about other people that are creative on YouTube. And I always try to pick somebody that I follow, that I listen to or watch, or that bring in some interesting ideas. The last few episodes that we've done, we've kind of focused on tech guys, because that's kind of like my brain set is all the tech stuff. So we looked at a couple of those channels. Today, I wanted to look at somebody that we know personally, that's been a guest in our Creative Spin podcast show, and that has a cool channel, and his name is Michael. So I don't know if Michael's going to be watching us today or not, but I'm going to just grab on to here and press this little button so you guys can see it at home as well. So Michael is a photographer, a videographer as well. He's a very creative guy.
Yes, he is.
And he started his YouTube channel with a lot of creative ideas going on. It's interesting at a point, I know we were having a conversation, and he's like, man, I've got so many projects that I want to do. I've got so many different ideas that I want to go, and I don't know how to approach it and all that. And what he's doing, I think, is the right thing, is like put everything out there. Mm-hmm. Put everything in your channel. Try to do your own thing. And it doesn't need to necessarily just be one thing. Like he has a podcast as well, which is the Creative Friends podcast. And look who was in this
There
podcast.
you
Look at
are.
that. That was so nice. It was actually a fun episode. If you guys want to go check that out, it was not because of me.
No,
It's because of the
course not.
information. But I mean, and he's got other reaction movies of videos that he does as well, reacting to different things. He talks a lot about photography. So if you like photography, videography, just creativeness in general, Michael is he's got a good channel. I like it. Let's see what he's got on his About channel. Michael Costa, lifestyle photography based in Mississauga, Canada. Yeah, go check
It's
it out.
really cool.
He's a creative. I was gonna say creative kid, but he's no longer a kid. He's an old guy now. I feel like I'm the old guy all the time. When I was a young lad, I used to do that too. Now I just can't get out of my seat. But anyways, check them out. Let me know what you guys think. And I want to just say, if you're watching this, if you have a channel that you want me to take a look at and possibly bring onto this show, send me the info. If you know somebody that has an interesting show on YouTube, send me the info. I'll check it out. It might end up on the show. I want this to be like that kind of show that we can help each other out and, just spread the word.
Yeah,
Spread
absolutely.
the love, spread the creativeness, man. Peace and love, dude. Are you ready for the next one?
Yes, I am.
We're speeding
Bring
it
it
up
in.
a little bit because today is just...
We do have a question about Clubhouse because you did mention you were going to talk about Clubhouse.
Indeed, I did.
And is that the next one we have?
Well, I think the whole idea of the Clubhouse, I think I left the old title from the previous thing on. But listen, I can talk about Clubhouse still because I've been playing more with Clubhouse. We spoke about it last episode.
And there is, I think, a growing interest, if I'm not mistaken. I do see you listening to and going through the different, what are they called? Rooms?
Rooms.
Okay. So going through the different rooms, and I do notice there is a huge interaction now, and
It's been growing.
Seems like people are really
It's
interested.
really been growing. Okay,
Yeah.
so Clubhouse, for you guys that don't know about it, it's I'm not going to call it a new app because I think it's been out since March last year. So it's almost going to be a year. It's still in what they call a beta version, basically because they still say that they're testing things out and trying to figure how the audience is going to react and what they think. And they're still building on it. They're always adding new things and new details to it. But it's pretty done. Like it's a solid little app. It's not crashing. At least for me, it never did. And the bottom line is that it started as invitation only. It still is as invitation only. And that's why it started with just a few, like a small group of people. And essentially, if I get an invitation, then I can invite two other people onto it. So you can see how slow this can go and how long it can take to grow. Well, after almost a year, it's been multiplying, right?
Yeah.
So it's been multiplying, and now there's been quite a huge wave of people coming into Clubhouse. I found out about Clubhouse through Gary Vaynerchuk because he's a guy I follow online. He knows a lot about tech, about social media, and all of that. And he's been playing around with Clubhouse for quite a while. And then I jumped into it, and that's how I got into Clubhouse. But it's been a very interesting way to see how it's working, how it's developing. So essentially, pretend you're going into a conference, right? So you're walking down these big halls and you have room A it's talking about VR, and room B is talking about aliens. Room C is talking about whatever it is. And that's essentially this app. The feed where you can see the rooms, they actually call it rooms. They call it the hallway. So it's essentially you're going through the hallway and you're trying to find a topic in the room that you might be interested in listening to. So once you go into a room, you are part of the audience. So it's like walking into an actual physical room, sitting down and listening to whoever's on stage. So the people on stage are the moderators. Those are the people usually who start the rooms. So they are the moderators. They're the ones that can get people to come onto the stage. They can kick people out of the stage. They can also kick people out of the room if somebody is being annoying. But if you're just on the room and you're not on stage, you can't really be annoying because you can't say anything. You can only speak when you're on stage.
Yeah. And they have to give you permission.
Yeah. But the same way that they give you permission, they can also shut you up and kick you out. Let's say if somebody goes into a stage and just starts being an ass and starts talking bad stuff and being a jerk, they can automatically kick them off. Now, there is an interesting point here. They can make other people moderators. So let's say I have a room, I'm a moderator. I can bring you into the room. And if I like you, debatable, I can make you a moderator. It took you a second to get that. I can make you a moderator. But the interesting part is now you have the power to kick me out of there too. So be very careful if you do start using Clubhouse, if you do start giving out the power of the moderator to people.
And then insult by saying
Make sure that you know that person, at least somewhat, and that person's not going to kick you out of your own room, because it can happen. It has happened, and that's not the right way to do it. But overall, I mean, I've been in rooms where there's 5,000 people in there. That's a cap. That it doesn't allow you to have more than 5,000 people in a room. But there's been people like Gary Vaynerchuk, like Elon Musk, like
that's interesting.
Zuckerberg has been there as well. A lot of people have been trying this app, and they talk about everything, right? So you can go into a room, you're talking about marketing, you can talk about podcasting, you can talk about video, you can talk about, oh God, I've seen rooms where people just talk, they don't have any topic, and the conversation will bring the topic up, which is kind of cool too. So,
and one thing that I love about it, it's audio only.
It is audio only.
And it forces you to pay attention, because sometimes you see stuff like this, you can get distracted by the background or whatever. You know, when we're looking at something, sometimes for split seconds, our brain may not be there. I love this because this forces you to listen. There's the only it's the only way you can actually see what's going on, right?
And the cool thing is that you can leave. So pretend this could actually be your radio station. Let's say you dive into. I go into a lot of rooms that they talk about marketing and design, because that's what I like to do. A lot of times I'll have it playing in the background, or I'll put my headphones on and I'll just leave it playing. It's almost like having a radio station dedicated to the topic that you like to listen to. And you can keep on working, do your job and all of that, and you're just listening to that. It's not distracting. A lot of times, you know, I have two screens going on, and sometimes I'll put a YouTube video of whatever on the side, and I'm trying to work. And I tell my little brain, you know what, you're not going to get distracted. You're just going to do your work. But you do. Your eyes are going to go.
You get distracted. You do.
And you start looking at the video, and then all of a sudden productivity goes from to none. And that's not good. With this, it's you put it on, and that off you go. Now, if you get called on stage and you want to participate, and then that's a different story. You're going to have to concentrate on what's going on. It's like anything. You're not going to go on stage just out of the blue, right? So with that being said, you will need to pay a little bit more attention. But overall, I think the range of topics is amazing. There's more and more and more rooms now. What I find also is people are not afraid to start a room and start just a conversation with anybody. It's very interesting to see that happen. I'm loving the interactivity between people from all over the world, which is very, very cool. And it's interesting as well to see how that plays in terms of hours, right? Because you've got people from Australia, people from the UK, people from California, as an example, right? And everybody's at a different time zone, right? So sometimes you'll get people that for them it's 1 o'clock in the morning, and it's still for us like 10 o'clock in the morning, whatever.
And so that's so interesting.
It is very interesting because you hear some people going, okay, guys, it was really nice being here. I just got to go to bed. And we're like, dude, it's noon.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's it brings the world a little bit closer, and I find that cool.
Too. And I agree with Autoconversion said that Clubhouse is like a bunch of live podcasts that you can jump in and out. And it's true. Yeah,
it's a live podcast with
sitting there in that one up.
Yeah, with the component that you can bring in a lot more people. So like if I want to bring in a guest into my podcast, obviously I'll do it through Zoom, or I can bring him in through the phone and then bring him through the Rodecaster here, and we can talk about it. But now imagine having the ability to have a room in front of us full of people that are interested in the topic that we're talking about in that podcast, and then you can actually bring them up. So one of the things that I've seen, and I find that very interesting, and I think I'm going to steal that idea because, you know, we do podcasts, and I find that the podcasting idea that I'm going to talk about is interesting, which is the podcasters will do their podcasts. So they'll talk to the co-host or their guest and all of that. So they basically will do their, let's say, a half an hour podcast. And as they're doing the podcast, people are coming into the room. So they're listening and they're
What's
there.
going on,
And
yeah.
they're, and then questions are going to come up. So what they do is they do their podcast for that half an hour, whatever it is. And then they open the floor to questions.
That's so interesting.
Based on the topic of the podcast that they've done. So I find that to be very interesting and a very cool way to do your podcast. Don't get interrupted as much. It's you, your co-host, your guest, whatever, who you choose to be on stage. And then you're giving the opportunity. So this is like exactly like any conference that you can go to live on the spot. They do their thing, they do their presentation, and then at the end there's a Q&A. So let's ask the questions.
And for some people, it may be less intimidating because when you go to a conference, a lot of times people have questions, but they feel intimidated to just stand up and ask the question. Here, no one can see you. No one knows who you are really, unless you're someone famous, unless you've been, you have your own stuff going on, but it's still right. So I feel like it becomes more personal, less intimidating at that point to ask questions and to interact, as you said.
Yeah,
it is this interaction that is so interesting that I feel that's what's different and that's what's good. I like the app. I don't spend any time on it like you do.
I think
but
you will enjoy it a lot when you go in with your topics, the stuff that you like, your books.
I haven't had the time to really explore it. But yes, definitely, I definitely have an interest in looking at the book side, education even, right? So for sure.
And see, I think this is us being in a pandemic and not being able to go to conferences, not being able to talk about any topic really. I think this opens a little bit of the door of being able to do that. So I've gone into rooms where they're discussing the possibility of possibly even making some of the rooms closed, but you would have to have an access code or something.
Yeah.
Essentially,
almost like Zoom.
They're trying to figure out how can we monetize this idea and bring in that part of it. Not a lot of obviously right now there's no way that you can monetize, but I think there's a lot of conversation going behind that, and like because you have people that are now talking in these rooms that charge tens of thousands of dollars to any company to be speakers, and you're getting this for free right now. But we need to understand, this is what these people do for a living. Their knowledge is valuable. They're not going to be doing this forever. They're not going to be just going on and giving out their information for free. They shouldn't be doing that.
No, not at all.
There will be, I think, in the future, ways to get around the whole fact of it being open and you start charging to be in there. And listen, if the capacity is going to be 5,000 people in a room, then you know what? That's a small little venue. If you think about it, you're going to be 5,000 people that you can put your hand up because there's a little button you can do that to speak to Elon Musk and ask him a question that you want to do. Like, I think the potential is huge.
Think about it this way. How much would you pay to attend in person a conference like that, right?
But now on the flip side, think about it on this end is that, anybody that is putting together a conference, look at the amount of money that they have to dish out to put that.
Where here.
Yeah, live anywhere. Like you need a physical location. You need to rent things out. There's so
all
many
sorts
logistics
of
and all
things,
that. Now all of a sudden you can get things organized and you can have a room and it's going to be live and people can just do that.
Paulo has a question. I don't know if you know the answer to. He's asking if Clubhouse is available for Android.
No, not yet. So that's the other thing that they've been talking about. It's only available to people who have iPhones. And that's kind of a little bit of a bummer.
Yeah.
But I think they kind of did that purposely so that they can keep the amount of people that have the invites a little bit lower, because as we know, iPhones are really nice, are really cool, but Android market is still 4 times bigger.
Yeah.
So there are a lot of rumors out there that it's going to be very, very soon that's going to change in an update, and they're going to come out with the Android version as well. And they're expecting if you think it's already,
it will explode.
It will basically explode, right? In terms of people being able to come in and check it out. So that is something that I've definitely heard in a lot of the rooms, people talking about the fact that it will be for Android. And I think it'll be cool. Like once they open this up, there's going to be so many
Yeah.
rooms, but there's a few things that I think they need to still figure out, and I think they're trying to figure this out. One of them is languages.
Yeah,
Because
I've heard like
there's-
multilingual.
yeah,
ones.
because this is
Yeah.
worldwide. So
Yeah.
the issue I have is so the hallway shows me the rooms based on people that I follow and based on people that person follows as well. So if I'm following somebody because I found them interesting because they speak about podcasts and all of that, that person at the same time can be let's say Italian or Chinese or whoever. So all of a sudden I'm going to start seeing some rooms pop up on my hallway that are all in Italian because you can tell
Yeah.
by the titles, or Chinese or whatever it is. And I don't care about those rooms. Not for anything. It's just because I don't understand what they're going to be saying. So it doesn't matter to me. So I think it'll be very, very valuable if I can choose the languages I want as I'm going in, you know, and I can choose English. And in my case, I would choose Portuguese as well. And then you could just view rooms that are based on those two languages. I think that's going to be something that they need to sort it out very soon because, like I said, I think, you know what, there are days that I want to go in there and just listen to Portuguese, right?
Yeah.
And I've done that a lot. And to be honest, if there's any Portuguese people watching or listening, there's pretty cool rooms in there. I've caught a ton of radio personalities, TV people. They're all jumping into this.
Some
Actors,
designers,
a
you've
lot of
mentioned.
designers, a
Yeah,
lot
yeah.
of everything, and it made some pretty good conversations.
Yeah,
Pretty funny stuff too. So it's interesting. And the other thing is really choosing the topics. Now you can choose topics of what you want to listen to as well. I think they need to broaden it a little bit. They're bunching things into like groups. And
yeah.
I think you got to go a little bit deeper and say, you know what, probably like even graphic design, marketing, like you can tick the ones that you want to listen to and then let's see what's
Let's
up there.
go for it. Yeah.
Because again, I think that every day or every time you log in, you might want to listen to something different, right?
Yeah,
So it's like if you want to talk about sports, you go and you just click sports. But then what kind of sports? So there should be, that's what I mean. Like there should be like subsections of everything.
Narrow things
I
down,
want
yeah.
soccer and I want, you know what I mean?
Yeah,
So
yeah,
if they
makes
start
sense.
implementing that, I'm obviously, it's not as easy as just saying this. These are complex
Of course.
things, but I think it's possible to do. I think it's very possible for them to do, and I think it'll be very interesting for us
For
to
sure.
dive into that. So we're gonna go into the podcast side of this here show, and I'm gonna bring up a podcast. And I know it's one of those things that most people that are watching us or are into what did I do?
I don't know.
Are into the marketing side of things and all of that already know who this gentleman is. I'm going to switch over to this one. So yes, it is the one and only Gary Vaynerchuk. For those of you who don't know who he is, well, just Google the guy up, Gary V. He's been making a name for himself for the last decade or two in terms of social media, marketing, business, entrepreneurship, all of that kind of stuff. He knows what he's talking about, I think.
You met him.
Yes, I did. I've been lucky enough to meet this guy a couple of times. It was a cool adventure. Went down to New York to meet him up, and well, he was doing the Ask Gary V show at the time. So that was cool. That was a cool thing. And, you know, yeah, he's kind of crazy. He's not for everybody. He's got this very crazy, energetic New Jersey style of speaking, of being, but he's genuine. And I think if you're into marketing or if you have a company and you just want to learn a little bit more about what you should be doing with social media and with marketing your company and all of that, I think this guy has a lot of good information. He's got a lot of information, I have to say. He posts so much stuff
He
every
produces
single
a lot
day.
of stuff. Yeah.
Yeah, at this point, see, when I met him, his team was a lot smaller, his personal team, because he's got a company called Vayner Media, which is, you know, they do media. And I think it's up to like 2,000 people or something like
Wow.
that. Or it's
Yeah.
like crazy. But he's got his own team that works on his own stuff now. And that's why
And it keeps growing.
you see so much. Like he puts out so much information. It's crazy. But you know what? You only watch and listen to whatever you want. So, and
True.
that's, you need to know how to filter all this stuff. But bottom line, guy puts out a lot of good information, and I think it's a good podcast to listen to. I find it interesting the way he titled it. It's the Gary Vee audio experience. It's not a podcast, but it is a podcast.
Yeah.
He does so much stuff. He does talks, right? He speaks at public events. Well, not as much now, but he does a lot of meetings with a lot of companies, a lot of entrepreneurs, a lot of famous people, a lot of not so famous people. He does so many live streams on every platform imaginable, and he brings onto his stage everybody. Like he doesn't pick and choose. There's
He's
so
genuine.
much.
He's genuine.
Very
Yeah.
there's a lot of information. So this is basically a combination of all of those sound bites, and he puts them here. That's why you'll have some episodes that are 2 hours long, others that are like 7 minutes long. It can vary that much because the 7 minute one can be just a rant he does about a subject, and you're gonna get a lot of F-bombs and stuff like that. He has been cleaning up his act. In some cases,
Gee, I wonder why.
I think he's filtering himself a lot more now because
What an effort.
today I actually listened to a podcast when I was going to meet up with a client safely, I might say, and yeah, it's he was so careful. You could tell, like it wasn't 100% the Gary Vee
So
we know.
is he talking like slower in order
It's
to be
not
careful?
slower. I mean, it's like me. Listen, if you guys know me personally, I have the mouth of a
Okay, let's
trucker.
move on.
Yeah. And I don't want to get into that. But why did you say it like that? Let's move on. Were you afraid I was going to start swearing?
No, I'm not afraid of that. I just know.
It's like, move on. Like, I'm not talking to you. I'm talking to them.
Let's move on.
Jeez. Talk about grabbing the show and taking it with you. Jeez.
You gave me, what's it called on Clubhouse? The moderator button.
Okay, you're a moderator here in the live stream. Great. So how many people do we have watching at this point? Not many.
We
probably.
had 6. We now have 4.
Oh, that's it. Just 4. It's okay. You know what? We're starting slowly. We're not making a big fuss of this because
No, we're not. Yeah.
because we feel like we're still trying to figure out a lot of the knickknacks of every week I try to add something new. This week I put the new screen up, but the other week I can't remember what I did, and I already have
getting better.
some ideas of what I'm going to do next. Ideally, what I want to do is I want to bring people into the show as well. This is why we now have the screen here so that we can bring in guests afterwards. And I think it's almost going to be like a Clubhouse idea where I'm going to bring up 1 or 2 people on stage and we can have a conversation after we've done our thing. And I think that's going to be making it a lot more interesting. And I mean, if you guys have any ideas of stuff that we can talk about, let us know. We can tie it in. We're like I said, I think we're still going through our experimentation stage.
Yeah.
I think by the 10th episode we'll be fine and good to go. Another thing I want to add too is we're going to be streaming this not only on YouTube. I just wanted to start on YouTube because again the audience isn't big here for us, so I didn't want to kind of like make a big fuss out of it. I wanted to try things out. But then one of the goals for this is to actually be streaming into different platforms. So Facebook is going to be the next one that we're going to be streaming to simultaneously. So I'm looking at the best app that we can get the feed for the comments so that we can get comments from Facebook and from YouTube. There's a few that I'm looking at, Restream and all that. By the way, if you guys know of anyone that you like, let us know. Share. But I want to be able to see both questions from both platforms, and then possibly integrate it with Instagram and all of that. But I don't want to. I'm gonna see. It'll be interesting to see. So that was it.
Yeah.
Are we ready for
cool.
to have some dinner? It's already 8:00. past 8 o'clock.
Yeah, it's just 2 minutes.
I kind of prolonged it a little bit due to the technical difficulties that we have in the beginning and started a little bit later
Which can happen
than
to
7
anyone.
o'clock. Yes, it did. It happens. Let me put some music on. Is this the music? I never know. Is it? No, these are
those
crickets.
Yeah.
Oh, I got the crickets, guys.
Cute.
No, we're not going to use it. What's this? Nope, that's not it too. Is it this one?
I don't know.
I think it is. Ah. All right, guys. We need to remember that that's, you know what? In all truthness, I think Rode made a mistake when it comes to that, where they can't put, it should have been screens. And I'm hoping
It's
that
just different colors.
yeah, it's just different colors. So you
Well,
kind
you
of,
can label them.
okay, but that's my point.
Yeah.
You know, now I have to go and create labels and stick them on, and hopefully they won't
Post-its.
fly
You know
away.
the ones with the little pointy things, arrows?
Listen, I know you could do that.
No, I'm saying they're cute.
Why am I gonna MacGyver stuff? I'm just trying to say, see, look,
Don't people know
Look-
MacGyver?
look at the Stream Deck. I don't know if you guys know about this one, but the Stream Deck has little screens. These things, I can change the
Yeah.
icons on these little screens so that I can customize it and I
Yeah.
know what the screens are gonna do when I click on them. See, and this way, I don't have to kind of guess it and get crickets. You know what I mean?
I do.
Jeez.
It's just I see the bookworm in me loves those little sticks. Those. Imagine I'll add more color to this.
Guys, this is what I have to put up with every day. Every day.
It's cute. I have green, orange, pink, blue.
And she's not stopping now. She keeps on going.
Cheers, Auto Conversion says. Thank you.
All right. Send me
And
some
Paulo
help.
as well.
Send me help. Send me help. All right, guys. Great having you guys here. Hope you're here next Friday at 7 o'clock. Don't forget, we'll be here at 7-ish. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Buttons. Ouch.